3.2 is exactly the same topics. It's just find the derivative. But it's trying to show you the problems different ways. So I believe we have tables, graphs, and then, well, symbolically, I guess too, but symbolically, we've sort of already tried. Like that was on our last test. So the first thing that's important is it frequently has to tell you if it's differentiable or continuous, so that you know all answers exist in between, but we only see some of them. If it just says differentiable, that automatically also means continuous, just because of the way differentiable meant. So like say this first one says find f prime of 0.1, even though you know nothing of f of x. Should I go with? Seth, sure. If I'm trying to find f prime of a number, and I know nothing about the equation, how am I going to find the derivative of f of x?
I'm not sure.
Oh, all right. Good start. I didn't give you any information either, so I'm not trying to actually make fun of you.
I just think maybe take the y values and do the slope formula.
Okay, so you're basically saying just kind of estimate it. Okay, that's a good guess. That's kind of what I was thinking. Anybody else have a different way?
Could you try like 2 points or something, the first x value at?
So do like 2 slopes and then
Yeah.
average
Do
them or
like
something?
0.1, 0.2, and then yeah, or like.
Okay. Yeah, the hard part about this one is it wants us to estimate, well, it doesn't even say estimate. Is it wants us to find the slope at the very beginning point. Frequently, we're asked to find the slope in the middle so that you have options. On this one, we don't really know anything about it, so we kind of have to just estimate. We pretty much are forced to do slope between those two, and then just say that that's going to be the approximate answer. I want to say on the AP test, I believe it uses the word approximate or estimate. I don't think it says find exactly f prime of 0.1. This exact same question is on the test. Like they have questions this easy, but I want to say it specifically uses the word approximate or estimate. So then we would just do slope between 2 points. Top numbers are the y values, bottom numbers x values. And then that would come out to be whatever. Okay, how about this? I felt like we just did one of these. And I don't know if I'm just going crazy a little bit. But I felt like we had a table question at the end of the last section. Maybe it wasn't as detailed, but I thought it was. I thought we did a chain rule one from a table. Should we maybe just try to pick like the most difficult one of these to go through, see how it goes? All right. Let's do D. That one probably to me seems like it would be difficult. Do you guys do this in your homework still? Do you set up F, F prime, G, G prime? Okay, then I'll do that. So F just refers to the top. If you want, we can call it U and V or something. But so F just refers to the top, G refers to the bottom, and I say that because it's kind of close. So F of 2x and G of x. G of x is nice and super simple. There's nothing to do with that one. the derivative of g of x would be g prime of x. The derivative of f would require chain rule. So the derivative of f of 2x would be derivative of the outside, so that would be f prime. Identical information inside, times the derivative of the inside, which would be 2. So if I'm trying to find r prime with quotient rule, I'm going to write these 4 answers in there. So I've got g, f prime, I'm not going to have that room, f prime minus f g prime all over g, g squared. And then I believe in the directions, doesn't it give us a number to try to find?
2. I use 2.
Of 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so r prime of 2. And then we just have a ton of different things to look up. I'll actually write these in, because I can fit it underneath, I don't know if you can. So we need to find g of 2 from the table, f prime of 4 from the table, because we have to do 2 times 2, times 2, minus f of 4, times g prime of 2, and this will all be over g prime of 2 squared. That was close. G of 2. And I can't see the table at all. What's g of 2? 3? How about f prime of 4? 1 or negative 1? Okay, negative 1 times 2 minus f of 4.
0.
Oh, that makes it easy. Okay, I don't even need g prime of 2. G of 2. Oh, yeah, I already have that one. Yeah. Negative 6 over 9. And then this one would be about the most difficult you're going to run into from a table, because it involves chain rule, and using a number frequently will give you different things to look up. Like the chain rule part of this is what creates a different number on the inside when you plug in a number. Like the 2x created a 4 instead of a 2. That's about the most difficult that would be. I definitely wanted to do a graph one with you. This one, for the most part, is also somewhat symbolic. Like us trying to do the derivatives without knowing an equation. Where did it go? I flung it, but I don't know where it went. This is the symbolic ones. Okay, picture. And yes, you're going to get weird pictures. Now, I pause and I'm hesitant right here, because if we are asked to find the derivative at those points, they're undifferentiable. But I have a feeling most of these down here, if it's a composite function, we're going to need to find the answers from the left and right to see if they turn out the same. So if it's a composite one, at one of those locations, we'll actually have to find the answer from both sides to see if it works out, which is annoying. And I'm just gonna guess off the top of my head that, 3 and 5 are probably most of these problems. Okay, G prime of 3, no, that one's just a single spot. Which one's G? Is that the curvy one or the? G is the curvy one, I believe. So at 3, I'm just gonna estimate the slope right there. It doesn't look like it's a 45, so I'm going to guess it's less than that, -1, -0.5. But now that we have a composite, this is where it's kind of weird. So, I don't know, in my head, I felt like we were gonna be doing chain rule, but this is already set up to have you just find an answer. So, let's find the answer from both sides of 3, because G of 3 has no slope. Oh. Never mind. In my head, G was the one with the points. G of 3 does have the slope, we just found it. You know what? How about I just say the wrong thing like 4 times in a row here? I'm just gonna blame it on being sick. Thanks. Although I feel fine. I don't have a voice yet, but I feel fine. G of 3 is not finding the slope at 3, it is finding the height at 3. So, the height at 3, that looks like a tiny bit less than 5. So let's just say 4.9. I'm assuming your graph looks the same where the line looks right below the cross. So I'm gonna say roughly 4.9-ish. F prime of 4.9 means I need to, actually that was definitely on purpose. If we were asked to find F prime of 5, we'd no answer. But because that was right below 5, this answer's right before 5, which is asking me for the slope right there. And I have no idea what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Are there any examples on that page you want me to do it? There literally is nothing new on this whole section, but I absolutely wanted to go through with you ones that would look confusing to you. Oh, that was the whole note?
Could you go over E?
Yes. I thought I remembered there being more than 2 pages of notes. Okay, G prime of F of 7. So F of 7 will have an answer. It looks,
Wait, is it F7?
no, F of 7 would be the height. I can't tell if it's exactly on 5 or if it's right below 5. We'll do both. So G prime, maybe I'll call it 5 minus, because I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's just 5. We're probably looking into that way too detailed. So G prime of 5-ish would be the slope of the curvy line at 5. So at 5, it wouldn't matter if it's 5 minus or 5, it's going to be the same answer. I just need to estimate that slope. It's not quite a 40, let's just call it -1, because that is absolutely close enough. If you are asked to find the slope from a graph of a curve, you estimate it. If it's a straight line, it's easy to figure out, but a curve you estimate. Oh, I'm forget, is that one okay?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Were you trying to do the slope of f of 7 or something like that?
Yeah, I was trying to do over this.
That's gonna be by far the worst part probably. H, what is H? Is there an equation up here for H? H is f of g of x. Oh, so there is one chain rule question. Should we do it together, or do you feel like you know how to do it? I don't know what nodding is. I asked that bad. I phrased that very bad. Do it together? It's because you were outside for a little bit. So we have to figure out h prime first before we plug a number in. Was it f of g of x?
No.
Okay. So then this would be f prime of g of x times the derivative of the inside, which would be g prime of x. And then we can plug the 7 in. F prime of g of 7 and g prime of 7. Didn't I do g of 7 over here somewhere? No. G of 7 is the height of the curvy line. Oh, that's annoying. The height of the curvy line is 2.9. And that'll help us out because there is a sharp point at 3. G prime of 7, the slope at that curvy spot is, 7. Ooh, that's barely above 0. You can tell the center is right there. Just call it like 1/10 or something. I don't know, something small. Just call it 0.1. F prime of 2.9 is going to be the slope right before the points. I'm guessing it's -2 since that was 2. Oh yeah, yep, -2. So -2 times whatever small number you chose gives me a negative small number. So roughly that. Now generally, if we have a question like this on a test from a graph, we frequently do it with all straight lines so that there's no question. You don't have to estimate the slope like we are doing. So we usually try to do that with straight lines on a test so that you have an exact answer. All right, I'll call it done there. Which is all right. I'll still have a voice going forward now. If I give you a quiz tomorrow, it'll just be a surprise though. But I'll be honest, I'm not feeling like putting anything together. And I want to get everything corrected tomorrow so that I have nothing to bring home for the weekend. And so, like all retakes and corrections, my goal is to get those done tomorrow. If you can't do corrections or retakes during one of those times I listed, I don't know. I'll give you a little leeway because it wasn't like I was planning on being gone Thursday or Friday. So, if you're needing to do corrections or retake, and like Thursday, Friday was kind of when you could, just come talk to me.
Do you want 3.1 or